Welcome to Chapter 6, which is all about deeds. Our learning objectives today include the following. Number 1, what exactly is a deed? And most specifically, how does it relate to real estate? Number 2, the types of deeds and the differences between them. And number 3, the difference between a deed and a title. Let's get started. First and foremost, what exactly is a deed? Very simple. A deed is a legal document. A deed transfers ownership or an interest in real property from one owner to another. That is why it's often referred to as property deed. However, if someone says property or a house deed, they're referring to real tangible property and anything that's attached to it. So nothing imaginary. The deed has to refer to real things. The deed can include other types of properties too, like cars, motorcycles, and if you're lucky, a yacht. A common example would be someone purchasing a home. They've taken a loan from a mortgagee, likely a bank. The bank is then given a title, which serves as evidence of ownership until the loan is fully paid. When that happens, the bank will release the title to the owner of the house. If the owner cannot pay, and the term is called default on a loan, it's unfortunate, but it happens. The bank or the mortgagee has the right to foreclose the mortgage, meaning they can go ahead and take the property away and sell it for the remaining balance. A property deed has the following requirements. Number 1, it must be in writing, and print is perfectly fine. Number 2, it needs a grantor or the person who owns the property right now, and the ownership has to be legal. Number 3, both the grantor and the grantee or the person taking the property, well, both of them must be legally identified on the deed. Number 4, the property must be identified legally, as in identified by an authority. For example, a surveyor who can actually describe the property properly. Number 5, the deed must use standard legal language. In other words, it has to have a strong and authoritative language. For example, I give you my house. That's almost slang and not acceptable on a deed. Number 6, everyone who is involved, even if there are multiple grantors and grantees, they must sign the deed. Number 7, the deed is executed and the property is transferred only when it has been given or delivered to the new owner, aka the grantee. Number 8, last one. Phew, finally, the recording of the deed. It's not required everywhere, only in some counties and some states, and that's when the government files the executed deed. Now onto the types of deeds. Number 1, the quitclaim. Its nickname is a quick claim. That's a transfer of real property with no warranty. Next is the deed of trust. It's normally used by banks and mortgage companies to transfer ownership or title to a third party in order to secure a lien against the property. Number 3, warranty deed. It's also considered the strongest type of deed, and it conveys a legal assurance, has the legal rights, in other words, no encumbrances, to sell the property. So in other words, the property is fully paid for. Number 4 is general warranty deed, which indicates that the entire history of the property has been researched and there are no encumbrances. This is normally used for residential. Finally, the special warranty deed. It can be used for both commercial and residential, and it ensures that the current owner has not accrued any claims or liens on the property. It doesn't contain the full history of the property, just the history of the current owner. Now, this type of deed is only used for special occasions, and usually if we need to make a very quick sale. So there's little time to do full title search. A lot of times, the special warranty deed is considered involuntary. Its subcategories include the administrator's deed, and that's used when someone dies without a will. Also, the executor's deed, similar as the administrator, except you have an executor to handle the deceased person's estate. There's also the unfortunate situation of the sheriff's deed. That's when the property has been confiscated by law enforcement and auctioned off or sold. Last one is the deed in lieu of foreclosure. Like we discussed before, this happens when a mortgagee needs to foreclose on the property, and this deed would convey the full ownership to the mortgagee, and it would cancel anything that the owner still owes on the property. Again, it's an unfortunate situation, and it is non-voluntary transfer. Well, we're almost done, so hang in there. Last topic, deed versus title. which confuses a lot of people, myself included. The best explanation is a deed is an actionable legal documentation, and a title is an abstract idea that transfers ownership. So a deed in writing with signatures and big jargons, you can take action on it, and if you print it out, you can hold it. And a title, it's kind of in your head, but it does give you that acknowledgement that property has been transferred from a grantor to a grantee. And that is it for today. Next, we'll talk about property descriptions. See you next time.